Look around you. Look around you. Just look around you. Have you worked out what we're looking for? Correct. The answer is the Higgs boson. This program, the Higgs boson, is discussed in Chapter 96 of your textbook which accompanies this series. Please ensure that you have your copybook at hand, as you will be asked to take down notes from the screen at various points throughout the program. Bosons, so called because they were originally discovered in the city of Boston, are an important part of modern science. They are subatomic particles similar to the electron and the kiwi, which are much too small to be seen by the eye. Specifically, bosons are the class of particles tasked with telling other particles what to do. They usually achieve this by issuing lengthy memoranda, much like human managers. The standard model of particle physics, so called because of its frequent inclusion in flags, includes a number of types of bosons. These include the photon, which transmits light, the gluon, which produces glue, and the crayon, used to entertain the young and the young of heart. The most enigmatic boson of all is the Higgs boson, originally predicted by Michel de Nostradame in 1506. Due to the vagueness of this original description, it has taken more than 500 years for researchers to identify this particle. The Higgs boson is also frequently referred to as the dog particle and the beer bottle boson. Right now is an exciting time period as scientists try to learn more about this strange part of nature. Experiment 1. An experiment was conducted to determine whether the Higgs boson is attracted to cheese. This will be done using one of the latest and most sophisticated items of equipment available, the pondrum trap. The trap will be baited using a sharp Cornish cheddar aged for 17 months. The pondrum trap is a very sensitive instrument, requiring highly specialized training to operate. The scientist opens the cheese and cuts off a small piece. The trap is then cautiously baited, with great care being taken so the trap has now been set. We wait for a period of time to see whether any Higgs bosons are attracted. We now return to the trap. It has not been sprung. This is not too surprising, as recent work has shown that the Higgs boson is actually much more fond of peanut butter. Why is the Higgs boson so important? Well, aside from its key role in the Battle of Granicus in 344 BC, it is thought to be responsible for all other objects having mass. The way that it does this is a process known as spontaneous symmetry breaking. This is just as violent as it sounds, so remember that you should never attempt it yourself. In most jurisdictions, symmetry breaking without proper license is a felony, punishable by a jail sentence of up to 48,000 microfortnights. Write that down in your copybook now. The question we now ask is, what does symmetry breaking do? In general, it's actually far too complicated for anybody to understand, so we will concern ourselves with a basic example called the Mexican hat potential. It turns out that what we think of as empty space is in fact not empty at all, and as a result, it is actually possible for garish sombreros to appear anywhere and at any time. may have experienced this bothersome phenomenon yourself, or have seen the disposal bins kept for getting rid of the unwanted hats. Experiment 2. An experiment was carried out to determine the mass of the Higgs boson. First, a particle accelerator was constructed. Next, a Monterulli mass spectrometer is placed in front of the beamline. The particle beam is turned on and the experiment can begin. This is a delicate process which requires the utmost concentration. You may wonder why we do not simply leave the mass spectrometer in place and put a particle on top of it. The answer, as you no doubt remember from primary school, is the Heisenberg uncertainty principle, which prevents a particle's mass from being clearly measured when it is stationary. Having acquired enough data, the scientist records his results: 34 grams. Now hand in your copybooks to your teacher or head of class. In the next program, we will be looking at magnetohydrodynamics.